Hi guys, great to see you again. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the BOSS ME-25 guitar multi-effects unit. Let's dive straight in. This is part 2 of our BOSS ME-25 mini-series. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I suggest you go back, watch that episode, and then come straight back here and we'll continue to take a deep dive. But for the rest of you guys, let's keep exploring the rest of the features. In this video I'm going to show you a few handy tips and techniques. So first I'll show you a great clean tone and exactly how I got that setting. And then we'll move on to the looper and I'll show you how to layer some tones. As we can see, when the unit powers up, it returns to the last preset we were using, in this case, number 14. Let's remind ourselves on how to edit that. We simply press right and exit at the same time. We are now in edit mode. We can see that we have preamp, modulation and reverb engaged. But let's start from scratch, so we can turn these off by giving them 2 presses to disengage them. To start from scratch, we might decide to add compression by selecting parameter number 1, which refers to compressor. We can then adjust the compressor however we like, and then we can move on to the preamp. If you're planning to send your signal direct to a recording device or a PA, don't forget to insert a dummy jack into the phones. This will engage the internal amp simulator. If you're sending your signal straight to a guitar amplifier, remove the phone's jack. The reason I mention this here is because we're now looking at the preamp setting. If you're running straight into your amp, use that preamp. If you're recording, make sure to press the preamp button here. Now we have access to the preamps, and we can select between 1 and 10. Find one that you like the sound of, and of course you can adjust it using these parameters. Another handy tip here is to keep your finger on the preamp button for a moment until it flashes rapidly. We can now use these dials as a bass, middle and treble dial, just like you would on a regular preamp. Disengage the EQ by pressing it one more time. Now we're back to the original parameters. If we'd like to add a pedal as well, we can add an overdrive and distortion pedal right here. Let's engage. Now we can make one of 10 selections, and again control the parameters using these dials. Here's another handy tip. If you're ever in the middle of editing your patch and you're not sure what your settings are, you can keep your finger on exit and then rotate the dial, and they will indicate what your current settings are, and you can always return to them if you need to. In the first episode of this deep dive, we looked at modulation. It's worth noting that you do have quite a lot of control over those sounds using these dials, but you don't have as many features as on the separate stomp boxes themselves. The ME-25 is quite classic in its setup. First we have compression, then preamp and the overdrive pedals, followed by the modulation, the delay and the reverb. If we want to add delay to our patch, we just engage it and then make a selection of one of these 4 settings. Numbers 1 to 4 correspond with increasing time, the shortest being 1, the longest being 3, and setting 4 actually being tap tempo. You can use this foot switch to tap along in time with the music to put your delay in sync. If we were to write our patch right now, it would always remember that tap tempo is engaged. In a similar way, by pressing down on the rocker pedal, it would engage the pedal effects. You can assign either wah, a plus octave, a minus octave, or a freeze effect to this pedal. So before we wrap this edit up, let's add a little reverb. We get 2 choices, room and hall, and this is the only dial that works with reverb. And now I'm going to write the patch by pressing write and then write again. So that's the general process outlined there. It's the same for any patch setting that you might want to make. Before we start experimenting with sounds, I'll quickly show you how to engage the tuner. You simply press pedals 1 and 2 simultaneously. And to disengage it, of course, you simply press the same 2 buttons again. I'll let you into a secret. It's a golden rule of tone, and it's called context. It's always about layering different tones, not just looking for one killer sound that's going to blast everyone else out of the water. It's all about the subtleties and what your music needs. Think of your tone in terms of light and shade. So hopefully today's video, combined with the first episode, has given you a really good understanding of the BOSS ME25. Please feel free to ask questions and leave comments. And please like and subscribe, it's a great way of letting me know that you're as into this as I am. Until next time guys, keep playing.